And we're live.
Hello, everyone.
Dun 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 dun.
Dun dun dun.
Hey, beautiful people, what's going on? We're getting ready for another weekly, daily Wednesdays. Just getting a few bits and bobs sorted, some plumbing. It's always fun to plumb on Wednesdays.
Plumbing.
Do not Google search that with a safe search in the off position.
Oh, right. Hump day. Right.
Just don't. I'm going to just go out on a limb, man. Don't search plumbing.
Yeah. I know, Vidal.
We got a big chunky show for you today.
Yeah, we do.
And Nova, thanks for the heads up on the GT 4 and 600 series PCI cards. I did not know those were a thing.
I can't remember the... PCI... What was the last PCI card that I bought? Man. Not... Video card. That's difficult. I can go to AGP because I still have that. I bought the last big hoorah NVIDIA made for AGP. Because that was cheaper than buying a new motherboard and processor at the time.
You know, back in the day, I think I remember reading magazines. It's like, oh yeah, the GeForce 6200 is the fastest PCI card you could get. It was right around the time that PCI sort of, you know, got to its limit.
I genuinely don't remember.
Yeah.
The last PCI card I had was probably like a 3D Blast or something with a Voodoo 1.
Yeah, mine was the Diamond Monster card with Voodoo. And I remember being really bummed about, you know, with AGP because I knew it wasn't as good. You know, I'm just like, you know, because they were already starting to work on the new PCI standard, and we were all of us computer enthusiasts were like, you know, I bought maybe one AGP card in real life just because I was waiting.
Yeah, I think I had the one AGP card. I don't remember which one it was, but I think I had the one.
AGP was definitely the, like, yeah, well, you just long enough to, you had to buy the one.
Yeah. Yes.
Although I do remember when I put together, I can't remember which computer it was. The motherboard had just the one AGP slot. Mm-hmm. Everything else was PCI.
I don't think did they ever make any. And I've personally never seen a board with two AGP holes.
Yeah.
No, I don't have one. It'd be interesting to see if there was one.
But you gotta admit, AGP had the coolest pin pattern. With the contacts, they were little zigzags.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, it was more convenient. It was a more convenient form factor. It fit in smaller systems, so I guess that was a good thing.
But now we have PCIe 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go take my break so we can get started.
Got 6 minutes.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's say.
Let's see. Okay. Boop, boop, boop. And
Yeah, that was the AGP card I had. It was the Riva TNT.
the what?
A Riva. An NVIDIA Riva TNT.
Oh, okay. I thought when you said that, you posted it. Like, oh, what?
No.
Okay.
I just Googled for it. It's like, was the Riva TNT AGP? Yes, it was.
Yeah, AGPs. I had the Voodoo 3. Yep, I had the Voodoo 3 because I bought that to replace my Voodoo 1. Then I had a Voodoo 4 for like 20 seconds. And then I got the Voodoo because I was given a Voodoo 550, 500.
Yeah.
Which I still have. Yeah.
It looked very much like that.
That's AGP though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the one AGP card I had.
Did it even have cooling? Probably not.
The one I had didn't. There were some. I saw the pictures on the magazines, and some of them had like the teeny tiny little fan on the GPU, but mine didn't.
The 5500 is not terribly expensive on eBay, is it? I just got mine kicking around in a drawer. I just held on to it for a while because it had two CPUs.
How retro is it?
Yeah, right.
Do you have it in the box?
They're $600? What?
Yeah, there's one outside the box. It's 325 pounds. 400 pounds for the one in the box. Yes, it's PCI.
This is $600.
If you have the box, you over here it's 400 pounds. Retro graphics card box.
It just genuinely floats in like the bottom drawer with a bunch of other junk.
325.
All right. Man, if I wasn't too lazy to sell things,
There it is.
yeah. Had a PCI Molex connector on the back for the power. $400 US. Aw, that's sweet. I don't even know if it works, man, so... It very well could be like missing a cap or something. Because it just bounces around the bottom of the drawer. It's got like a prop. Like, hey, remember these?
So Nova, how good are you with a soldering iron?
Yeah, right. All right. Let me go carefully. Genuinely just toss this back in the drawer.
Yeah, no, those cards they're retro nowadays. Much like that laptop that Calabra has on their website.
What's that?
The laptop that Calabra has, the first story we're doing. I just see the bottom half of the laptop. It's like, that looks like a really, really old Dell Latitude. But it's way too thin to be a really, really old Dell Latitude. So someone went retro on their laptop design. So that people know.
Okay. Yeah, man, I don't really have any plans on selling it. Not for like collector's sake,
Right
but
back.
I have no way of testing it and verifying it, and nah. What's a Passario 1230? I don't know, man. When it comes to computers, like when I think retro, I think like a mini vac. You know, reel-to-reel tapes. The thought of a Commodore 64 being retro, I'm like, no, this is an old PC, man. But each to their own.
Let's see, 12-inch, it came out between 98 and 2000. Oh, well then, Nova, I have, a laptop to compete with that.
Compete, I like this. We've repurposed.
Race to the bottom, baby. Race to the bottom. IBM ThinkPad. T42. The big chunky one. I still haven't found anyone that sells like the 1440 by 1050 screen for this thing. At least at a reasonable price, because there's no way in hell I'm paying £200 for it.
Come on, man. Live a little.
No.
All right.
Oh yeah, no. Jill wins that one.
Oh, come on. Jill's definitely got more junk than all of us. One thing Jill doesn't have, I think, is more desktop icons than Jordan.
No, Jordan wins in that category.
201, if my maths are correct. Because I counted down and I multiplied by over, and there was some like 5 stragglers on the end.
Yeah, my desktop is always exact opposite, extremely minimal. I do not like a cluttered desktop. I only have 10 icons now, and even that is too many for me.
10? That's outrageous.
I have none.
Yeah, because I mostly, when I'm right now, I'm in GNOME Classic on Mate, but when I'm running Flexbox and Window Maker, I don't have any icons. I just right click.
Mostly because you need to run PCMan FM with desktop.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah, so for me, having icons is kind of a luxury because I never hardly used them. It is strange. But I wanted to do it to test Mate.
There's icons, man. What I boil down to is I begrudgingly put a 9th one on my desktop. It's got to be something I use every day, multiple times.
Yeah,
because
I have those pinned to the panel.
To finish the sentence, I don't have a quick lunch outside of what do I have on quick lunch on XFCE? I have Chrome, Thunder Chicken, Get It, Pavu, and Steam. And the picture thingy. And of course the terminal's number 1 because that gets hammered on the most.
Yes. It's File Manager, Terminal, Firefox, Thunder Chicken, Discord, Steam, GIMP. I can remove that one now. I have the controller overlay that I use for the Dark Souls stream.
Yeah.
Remima and Athenaeum. Remina, not Remima.
Yeah.
Remima, baby.
Remima. I have GU, VCView, Pavu Control, Discord, Vivaldi, Chrome, HexChat, Audacity, Steam, Lutris, OBS Studio, and the terminal.
Because it's perceived to be a XFCE thing there, Arthur, and that's it.
What is?
Pavu Control.
Pavu Control, man, is the first thing you should install.
That's the first thing I install. And most of the packages, they just call it Pulse Audio Volume Control. That's what modern Ubuntu is calling it. But I just do apt-get install.
KD's little tray thing has some of the Pavu Control functionality. You can literally change which sync the audio stream is going to by dragging and dropping from the tray widget. Don't do that.
Yeah,
that's everything on my desktop. Period.
Yeah. You're like me, minimal. Except you have the black and white. I like the pretty desktop.
No, that takes up too
Let's
many
see,
CPU
minimize the
cycles.
show notes, and we'll just keep Vivaldi there. And save, and drag and drop
Here's-
to Discord. Bloop! Now, on Discord.
Here's one
upload,
from a few
yes.
weeks ago of my desktop.
Oh wow, 6 megs 36. There's a Firefox window next to the Vivaldi window.
I got Min open. I need to put it. I guess I better put that shortcut on my desktop. I haven't yet.
I'm going to assume anyone else not sharing their desktops are doing it out of abject shame.
That's nice. I'll have to save that, Pedro. I like to occasionally take screenshots and save them.
Occasionally.
Yeah, no, KD finally stopped being, well, throwing a little hissy fit whenever I tried to put the panel on the left. It used to obscure certain elements below the screen because it's the UHD screen and the 2K screen, and the 2K screen is not aligned with the top or the bottom, it's right in the middle. So, yeah, it would throw a bit of a fit, but now it's actually pulled a summer and put all of its stuff in a bag. So, yeah, I can actually have the layout that I like. Which is menu, the places like little shortcut menu, the pinned applications, and then the tray with a clock at the bottom. There. We're good.
I do have a few widgets. Like, I have the weather widget, and I have the clock speed widget, and temperature.
I need Magnus. It's behind.
Oh, we're
And,
doing. See,
for-
I'm not going to try to upload like all 3 monitors. I got 2 UHD.
Yeah, so I have my 2 monitors on the side at 1080, even though they're 1440, but I have them on at 1080 because it works out nice playing the games and whatnot. Doo-doo. That's why
Diablo
there's
2, man.
a border on the bottom.
All right. Should be good to go. Grab
Yes.
something to drink. And
what was that ARPG that Scott said that he worked on? Scalalytics version.
the what?
Last Epoch.
Oh,
Last
yeah.
Epoch, that's
Oh.
the name of the game.
Nice.
Yeah, that's very Diablo-esque.
What do I want? I need to. I'm going to tighten your gate, Pedro. Tell me if it feels good.
Oh, yes. Tighten me hard, daddy.
Oh,
So much harder.
Well, I had it slammed. I basically. You got to slam the gate sometimes, kids. These are not euphemisms. Like, for once, coming from me, it's not. Because you'll notice about 8 minutes in, because Nori was doing her thing yesterday. Well, Pedro and I were doing the live stream. So that's when I cracked open a multi-band compressor, and I'm like, where you at, girl? Where you at? Oh, you're about 13K. All right, let me drop that down. So I created a Nori filter. So,
Oh, like the teeny tiny little panel? But that goes
Oh.
all the way down the screen. It's just chunky.
you see, looking at that, I'm like, that looks like a good idea. I just put to be colors. Okay, I'll be back in a second. We'll get underway.
Yes. Yeah, no, I do like the teeny tiny little panel in the corner of the screen. Yes, that I do like your haikus and your BIOSes and other systems.
Very nice, yeah.
But yeah, no, considering the current trend of 69 and now, what's the highest one? 32.9 monitors? It's, yeah, you have plenty of horizontal real estate. So yeah, that panel can go vertically, so it only takes horizontal space, ironically enough.
Yeah. Oh, look. New penguin sippy cup. Pink. This one's not quite as cute as the other one, but it's still
Yeah,
nice.
you're not French kissing that one.
Yeah. It's a little different. It looks more chicken. Yeah, it does actually kind of because of the top, but they called it a penguin. I know it does kind of.
Oh, wait a second.
Oh,
So
wow.
you open its mouth and you suck on its tongue?
Yeah.
Nope, that's too
You
hot for
French
Twitch.
kiss it.
That's not Frenching. That's way too hot for Twitch.
Oh, nice art, Theron. I will save that one too. Pretty. Do 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 do.
Let me see if I can find before Ven comes back one of my old Faduntu screenshots.
Oh, cool. Our Theron's desktop. Do do do. I like the red theme, our Theron. It's really nice.
Images. And we shall go to the very last page. I said the last. Yeah, there we go. That was when I got my dual screen, and I was so proud of it.
Oh.
KD4.
Aw. Nice. Well, that's a nice desktop background. I've seen that one before. It's really nice.
Yeah, it was whatever people were posting on Google Plus in one and Fallout 3 in the other.
I think I remember my
And
brother
there we
using
go.
that one.
The last screenshot that I took of Faduntu just before, or just after they announced it was dead.
Oh.
I had all the game icons at the top.
Yeah.
Because gaming on Linux.
Yeah, Art Theron, you're like me. You theme everything. That's why my desktop is pink.
I theme things.
I actually
Yes,
have
you picked the high contrast.
this mic muff is actually pink, but it's a very deep kind of reddish pink, so it doesn't look as pink on the camera. But I got a new one that just came. It's hot pink, so I'm gonna have that on here for
Oh,
next Wednesday.
You got a pink one?
Yeah, I got it a B&H. It took a couple weeks to get here because they're backlogged, but I finally found one at B&H, and they also had a purple one, but I got the pink one. And then I was thinking of putting a pink XLR cable in my wish zone, so that would work.
Yeah, that screenshot is from 2013.
Aww.
And you may notice the McDroid. The McDroid shortcut at the top there is like, oh, didn't we just talk about that?
Yeah. I see it.
That was Pedro walking koala gif from yet another distro.
That was the first one, all right?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's where you developed your taste. Okay.
Actually, you kind of have it laid out out very after-step looking.
Yeah, and the Left 4 Dead 2
The bar.
beta, yep, because Left 4 Dead 2 was only out in beta at the time.
Ooh, big military planes going by. Yep, they must be flying from our airport.
Let's see. All right.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm right by the Torrance Airport, which is the largest what do you call it? The largest community airport, because it was also for military, and jets fly from there as well. It's actually the only airport I've ever flown from. About 12 miles from LAX. But what's neat is, I'm right by where the Nike Air Force base was and all this stuff. So we have these really fun military air shows, and tanks roll the streets for our big parade. It's actually quite cool.
Boomer juice.
Yeah, it's neat because they put these rubber pads on the tank so they won't destroy the pavement.
All right. So,
I am curious
what? What are you curious
about
about?
Realms Deep.
What is the Realms Deep? Sounds
Game.
contagious. All right.
There we go. Steve Husband.
Okay.
We're recording. So. And welcome back to Linux Weekly Daily Wednesdays, where we can sit back, relax, talk about some of the stranger things going on in the world of Linux, open source, and all that other fun stuff. I'm Vince Stone. That is Jill Bryant, and over there is Pedro Mateus with everyone watching us live. Man, it's kind of brilliant. We got a big chunky show for you today, so buckle up, prepare yourselves, man. But before we get started, I do like to see what's going on, checking in. Pedro, you didn't write anything, so you get to go first, as always.
That's fair. Honestly, no, this week has been relatively boring, except for that thing what Ven and myself were talking about yesterday. We basically, I think we absolutely did talk over all of the important points that
We try
Jensen
very,
Wong.
very hard to do that, and
Yes.
I guarantee you somebody finished watching that and they went, both of them, NVIDIA shells. Guarantee you.
Yeah, probably.
There's
How about
always
you, Jill?
someone.
What did you do?
Oh boy, I was on Linux Unplugged yesterday again, and that's always a lot of fun. And I actually joined in on Sunday for the Destination Linux Game Fest, and that was a lot of fun. We played Shell Shock and Golf with Your Friends, and I did pretty good at Shell Shock, so I was happy about that. And we had fun here at LGC playing Super Text Kart version 1.2 on the Friday Night Foo Bar. So make sure to watch that. That was actually a lot of fun. We had a good time.
It's always good. We even opened it up. We had a bunch of people come rolling in towards the end there. Let's see. A couple of things. I'm back playing with Adore 6.2 is out. It's been out for a little bit, but when a new piece of software comes out, especially for like a big critical honking piece of everything I do, I give it a minute before diving into it. It seems like it's able to. One of the big things with Adore with the 6 series was plug-in delay compensation through the full chain. Had an issue being able to disable that because that's the last thing I want, and it seems to be working good. We did the stream with it yesterday, no issue. I did finish the Mo2 Mark of the Unicorn 828 MK2 interface. Review, testing, all that fun stuff. I've dropped it up for patrons. So if you want an early crack at that, go ahead. It'll go out public. I got to finish all the website stuff probably Friday. sometimes in there, and also playing with a new compressor, but I'll talk about that later on in the show because we have to get to what is quite possibly the worst idea I've seen in recent history.
Oh boy, here we go.
Well, it's got its use case, singular, that I can think of. So, using the Linux kernel's case-insensitive feature in ext4. And this comes from Collabora because, well, they seem to always have their mittens in everything related to Linux, and that's a very good thing because they actually do a very good job of it. And yeah, they're talking about why would it be case insensitive, or the general concept behind having ext4 or a variant.
This falls directly under the things I would do to mess with people for 1,000.
Oh yes.
But yeah, no, like having the general purpose of having a case insensitive variant of ext4. And I can think of one use case that would directly, impact myself, which is gaming. Because if we're talking about gaming, that's the Saturday show, so we'll probably talk some more about that then. But here, if you're dealing with games, you usually have to deal with games that were originally programmed for Windows, which is case insensitive, games that are being programmed by developers that don't really know what they're doing, aka Unity games. Broad sweeping statement. So they don't care about case sensitivity either.
Isn't that right, Team Cherry, creators of Hollow Knight?
Yeah, that's one.
We love you, Team Cherry.
Out of how many games on Steam? But whatever.
I don't know. I keep moving those feels goals, man. Come on.
Like I said, broad sweeping statement. No, and mods, if you like modding your games and whatnot, yeah, if you're dealing with case sensitiveness, you might drop a file in expecting it to replace a file that's already there, like the game expects it to, and then you try to launch it and the game crashes because it's like, no, I found 2 files with the same name. I don't know what to do. Gone. So yeah, no, that's
sometimes.
That's my use case that I see for it. Though I will admit that it's probably going to be a bit of a hard sell. If
what about this,
you're
Pedro?
just going to
what about this?
change. Yeah. Although, to be fair, most of the Portuguese stuff, what I have going on my it's talking about the non-English languages. UTF-8 is kind of a big thing, especially if in case any kind of software that's expecting a Unicode compliant file path, if you have anything with like accents on letters or any kind of non-Unicode characters, all of a sudden you have a problem. So yeah, UTF-8 compatibility it's a very big thing. It is, absolutely.
One of the things I definitely want to talk about is this is not going to sneak into your system. It's not. You have to format a drive in order for the business to get in there. I'm just going to call it the business, man. Then, like, you can enable it for like certain directories, though, isn't that right?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
You can enable it if you set a directory-specific partition of sort.
I know we talked about it, and this would just knock her because that's part of my like filing system is like, that's capped, that's not. Same thing.
Yeah,
That's
same
my
here,
version.
man. Yeah, same here. For me, if that's enabled, it would, having to remember not to have to use case sensitivity would be the hard part, because I'm always going to use case sensitivity because I'm using Linux, not MS-DOS. So that would be, that's a thing. But I understand, it for ease of use for, those people coming over from Windows, and make it a little easier for them. But those of us who've been using Linux and Unix for a long time, it's probably not going to happen.
It's terrifying. I will continue to yell at my clouds. So, yesterday, the sentient leather jacket walked out on stage and said, "Hey, Give us some money, fam. And I went, nay, you don't have exactly what I want. I'm being very particular. We're talking about the NVIDIA 30 series release because that was the thing. Me and Pedro, we did a live stream. We talked over the important bits. That was kind of fun. And I'm sure you can tell we just love NVIDIA. What do you have to look at, man? I mean, you can go watch the VOD on YouTube or Twitch if you want, but they basically talked about the 3090, the 80 series, and the 70s. They were all on show. The leather jacket showed them. They were hiding in his kitchen, man. Must be nice. But only the 90 series and the 80 got the new moon cooler. I was like, aw, boo. Because the only thing remotely of interest to me was the 3070 at $599. Because you got to think about it, NVIDIA or not, that's going to make AMD's life very difficult considering,
yes,
according to NVIDIA, it outperforms a 2080 Ti. So it's kind of interesting. Now, I wished it had 10 gigs of the memory RAM at $599. Again, we should point out, these things are priced for NVIDIA pricing. It was like, wow, this is reasonable.
Yeah.
But we saw a leak that there's going to be a 3070 Ti with 16 gigs, and if that's $100 more, I'm probably going to have to buy one. I want to know if, like, the Ampere, if they're using new UNCUT chips compared to Turing, man. They didn't say anything about that, which I found to
They
be
did not.
a little bit curious since they spend so much time on software we'll never get on Linux for, like, the RTX Studio with all that other fun stuff. Are you
the noise
excited?
removal and the background blurring and background replacement. But yeah, they didn't specifically. They did not say anything about NVIDIA.
Like Nova said, for the 3070. Now, looking at two completely different views, Pedro would be primarily focused on gaming, but you're the ones that NVIDIA is trying to get to buy these with a 10 series. Because
Yes,
let's be honest,
very
RTX on Turing was not a compelling upgrade from the 10 series. It just wasn't. There were even slides where they just took out the 20 series that Jensen was just showing. Look, it's this much better than your 10 series, and you have a 1080.
Yeah.
So
10 series, and then you had the 3070 is like better than the 2080 Ti, which is all the way over there in $1,200 land. It's like, yes, it is. It's like, oh, it's going to be $499. It's like, you were that close. Drop those 99 and you got yourself a deal.
And you can kind of joke around. I see what you're saying, 8K, 4K, 120 hertz. No, man, 3090 can definitely do 8K. And they were showing off their new monitors, what was 380 hertz?
360.
360.
Yeah,
Which-
there's one monitor currently in the market that's 360, and it don't even look at that price. It no.
Dude.
Yeah.
But I love the idea, though.
Yeah.
With the new refresh rate, simply because all the people that, friends and family too, I'm not making too much fun of you. Like, you got to get the 144, man. You just got to get it. It's game changing. All of a sudden, everybody who's invested in that, like, oh, that's ridiculous. You don't need anything more than 144. Come on, what are you talking about?
And Ven, I do agree with you. I noticed the lack of compute in AI in any of the presentation yesterday. It's almost like the 20 series, they were so focused on that they maybe didn't get as many sales in the gaming area as, because of their marketing, the way they marketed the cards.
Well, there wasn't that big of an improvement. The big thing was like, hey, it can do ray tracing and it's got Turing and we have RT cores. See, it's better.
Yeah. It did do path tracing, ray tracing, which is superior in many ways.
The new series is a genuine upgrade path, even from Turing, because Turing wasn't that much better than Pascal. But if they can deliver a $600, because I'm looking at it from, I need them CUDA cores, and I want the memory RAM. So I was complaining on Twitter a couple of weeks back. I'm like, can we get a consumer graphics card with 16 gigs for under $1,000? We just might.
Maybe the 3070 Ti, like the rumors are saying now.
I'd be happy with it. And for all the wrong reasons, because I'll be doing 1080p gaming on it.
Yeah, no, I like my 2K144 gaming very much. This monitor has absolutely spoiled me. So yeah, no, that 3070 is like laser targeted at me. Except for the
Yes.
price. I'm not paying $500 for a video card. I'm sorry, I'm not.
Oh, just wait a few weeks after all the initial stock's gone. Then you can have the option to pay $600-700 for the same card.
Don't care. Not buying it.
Oh, come on. But you could definitely use the new cards with the new cores and all the touring, better pro touring. I like touring. That was a good name, but Ampere. Are we doing
Ampere?
Yeah. You can use that to blend away.
Yeah, and speaking of GPU compute, so Blender 2.90 has just been released, and it builds on the polish of the 2.8 series of releases of Blender, and it has lots of improvements. Including updates to everything, to the EV and cycles renderers, modeling, modifiers, and animation. And it's got a lot faster motion blur rendering now because it's using Intel's Ombre CPU enhanced ray tracing engine. And that'll speed things along if you're using an Intel Xeon. And one of my other favorite things is there's a new denoising panel to enable the Intel denoiser in the 3D viewports in this release. So the denoiser doesn't have to be just used for rendering, but it can be used in the 3D viewports. And I'd been playing with the betas of this release, and it works really well. And there's so much in here. It's hard to go through it all. The modeling has been kicked up a notch. Just everything, smoothing of surfaces, lots of new, better UV maps and modifiers for the clock.
I look forward to the nightmares tonight.
Yeah, yeah. And thank you. And Foxdog, once again, for letting us know about this new release. He always lets us know.
Wait, are you saying Foxy told us about the Blender news?
Why?
Yeah, I kind of already knew, of
so.
course. But Foxy is the one that puts it in chat first before I even find it. So
that's the thing, man. I'm really excited to see the NV link.
yes.
I'm just excited for Blender. Definitely this year so far. One good thing out of 2020, man. They've just getting in such high gear, great sponsors, and just a bunch of fantastic things, man. Makes me very happy. It really does.
Yes. It's awesome because it's really set it apart from like Maya and 3D Studio that are taking a lot longer to iterate. With the beauty of open source is with Blender, they're able to iterate so much quicker with these technologies.
I know. A lot more definition of my jiggly people.
Yes.
Yes.
That's good. That's good to see. What do we have up next? Oh, this is kind of interesting. Man,
this is awesome.
You thought Blender 3D video cards, all that was exciting. Save the good stuff for last, man. HTOP 3.0 is out, and this is from the new team, not the original developers. Like, man, I've had enough doing this. It's fixed. It's done. It's perfect. With his blessing, this is the new team the new maintainers, I should say. Bunch of things in here. The biggest ones that I picked out is there's a Vim mapping mode. Again, only to mess with your friends. Go ahead and set that up. But from the outside, I went ahead and built it, launched it. Like, hey, this looks exactly the same. I can't tell it's different until I started digging around with some of the other, there's a couple of bug fixes and stuff like that. But on the surface, man, it's great. It works. Also, distribution maintainers, ship HTOP, please. We want to talk about legitimately the first thing I go, why is that here? Install?
Yep.
HTOP.
Yeah.
HTOP, PAFU control.
I never remember to install it first, but it's that first not found. I'm like, oh, right. Why isn't this?
Aw.
Yeah,
but there is support for
they'll
the
come with
ZFS.
Nano, so...
Arc statistics.
Yeah.
What else? Did we get anything crazy in here? Disable the mouse. Okay. Solaris 11 compatibility. That's also a thing. That's kind
Hardware
of
topology.
Yeah.
You actually get some topology information directly from the panel.
New display options to
Very
show
nice.
CPU frequency and the meters. That's
Yeah, that's
update
really
Linux
cool.
SFS battery discovery for recent kernels. All right.
A lot of
Yeah.
BSD fixes.
Oh, I'm so happy though that we have an update, because this project was forked. Thank goodness for forks. So we'll get continued updating.
Well, some people think about that in kind of a strange way. When it comes to like building a system, I'm 100% not broke, don't fix.
Mhm.
And I think HTOP pretty much fell into that. And you will definitely see packed, certain applications, open source projects. I'm like, well, this hasn't been updated in 2 years. With me immediately followed by it not broke.
Yes.
I mean, find a
Yes.
bug. You go to the issues, and like none. Like it's baked. It's good. It's great. So, but if you like bugs, oh boy,
Oh,
the guys and girls at OBS Studio, OBS Project, OBS.org, they have a new release candidate, 26.0 RC1. It's out. New features, new additions. A couple of the big ones in here. The one I played with, I made a little video about it, is the RN noise hotness. If that's enabled, you got to build the bits for it. You got to compile. Just go watch the YouTube video. There's a link to how to get that set up. Now, I couldn't make much use of it. I was kind of sad when I played around with the RN noise library, simply because a not insignificant range of my voice is fairly inhuman. And it doesn't register with RN noise, so there's just like random silence, and it sounds like I have like a heavy gate put on. But there's a bunch of bug fixes with Linux, which is good. They even sorted the issue with like the V4L2, your webcam stuff not working correctly with the pan tilt controls. I was glad to see that. And one thing should be in there. I haven't built, I always just build directly off master, but this should, because I don't know of any technical issues, have the web browser built into it off of a recent CEF build that just doesn't poop memory the entire time it's running, like the OBS Linux browser plugin, which hasn't been updated in 2 years because reasons.
They do mention that in the fixes. Fixed an issue where the browser source could crash when browsing files. But yeah, it's good to see, but I will absolutely wait for the I should have qualified what I put in the notes there because I said that's like, okay, I'll wait for the PPA release, and Ven's like, check the second link. Okay, no, my bad. This is stable.
For my
PPA.
brothers and sisters on Debian, I suggest I made a guide for just building it from source. That's the best way to do it. But if you were looking for a PPA, there is an unstable branch. There'll be a link in the show note to the Reddit thread to where that's available. And that's legit. Go test away. As always, if you choose to run OBS as a Flatpak or a Snap, please do us a favor and stay out of the OBS Discord. It will not, you will not receive support for either of those. Not my rules.
good to
I'm
me.
just repeating them.
yeah.
What else? I think that's it. Oh yeah, sRGB support. That's the thing. That's kind of brilliant. And yeah, just go play with it. Try to break it. That's what a release candidate's for. And they're saying a couple of weeks, and we might get 26 official, which I think is neat. But
Very nice.
this is a PinePhone. One thing I do want to ask you before we get to the PinePhone story. Did you ever have any luck with the Make a Pinebook 64 usable script that I put in Discord?
I did, and
Okay.
then I broke whatever install there was on the eMMC by doing something else completely unrelated. And now I've had to order one of the USB like eMMC module adapters to reflash it outside because it's currently not booting.
Oh, nice.
It was like £10, so all right.
You fixed it hard.
I fixed it real good.
Yeah. So speaking of PinePhone, last July, Pine 64 released the community edition of the PinePhone with post-market OS. They released the phone and the convergence package with the USB-C dongle. And now we have the same phone models and the same kit and caboodle with the Manjaro Linux pre-installed, which is really, really, really cool. I mean, I've been so impressed with Pine 64. What a way for us enthusiasts to test software on their hardware by letting us choose which distros we want pre-installed on them. And then, it's still easy to put an SD card in it with any image of any of your favorite Linux distro. So that's just awesome. And this release comes with the same hardware as the previous one. So it's $149 for the 2 gig of RAM, 16 gigabyte eMMC flash drive, and $199 for the 3 gig of RAM with the dongle. So that's really a sweet price for testing out the phones. Really sweet.
Yeah, with those 3 gigs, you should have enough memory to play around with anything other than Manjaro.
Yeah.
I'm just speaking from the experience I had on the Pinebook Pro, where a week in of me basically just trying to use it, not even touching anything at that point, just trying to use it. Every now and then it's like, oh, there's updates. Okay, I'll just use the GUI and hit update.
Yes.
And do that. And about a week in, KDE stopped letting me log in.
Yeah.
I had to completely wipe my home folder and start from scratch, because whatever it did, it wouldn't even let me log in anymore. So
listen, man, I personally don't have a problem with a product that keeps you on your toes.
Yeah. Well, Manjaro, my experience too, Pedro, I've got it installed on a couple laptops, and it's like every other day I've got to update it, or things will break. That's just how it is with Arch and a rolling release.
It's a pretty good piece of kit. I want to thank Arthur for throwing that in there. And I just can't justify carrying around. I do not carry a mobile with me. I haven't for like the last decade. I'll carry a tablet with me, but what? Yes.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I have to carry around 2.
Oh, yeah. 1+1 has all the distros on it.
This one's a dual SIM.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So yeah, 3
Cool.
SIMs.
And I thought I couldn't think less of you. 1 year with a ThinkPad and Linux. Difficulty multiplier from a MacBook Pro.
Yes. So Mr. Frederick decided, you know what, let's give it a try, this Linux thing, see if I can get through a whole year of using Linux and learn it properly with a ThinkPad T480, which honestly is a very good choice as far as Linux laptops go. The T4 series usually, it would be my go-to recommendation.
My first
if
thought,
you're just looking.
I got completely distracted when I looked at the web zone, Pedro, simply because it's like, that's a lot of money.
Planes?
And, chisels.
Like woodworking tools,
yeah.
all of them.
Those things are expensive because I've knackered enough of them. And I've had to replace them.
Frederick decided to go with Fedora using GNOME and sometimes i3. And he apparently had a not terrible experience. A lot of things were working great, but according to him, what hasn't was it's like battery is not like Mac. Can't debug issues in Safari. Can't do iOS development. Need a VM with Windows to sync his Sun 2 GPS watch. I'm sorry. Touchpad is not close to Mac. Emoji support is not 100%. And some video conference tools can be a bit glitchy until you get the setup right. I don't think that's different in... Okay, maybe in Mac it sort of figures it out for you. But yeah, I don't think that's different. Not after having to deal with as many Teams and Skype for Business issues as I have since I started
Allow me
working.
to introduce you to my friend Haiku.
Yeah.
What's that? You want GPU acceleration? You're not getting it.
Yeah, well, WebRTC is, it can be finicky on any platform, so that's just truth. But yeah, our beloved ThinkPads, they're really the mobile toolkit for the Linux community. Almost every Linux enthusiast I know has one, and some of us have 2, 3, 4, some of us 10 or more. And I recommend those laptops to developers from switching from Mac Macs. And one of the reasons is they have such a beautiful keyboard, and all the hardware is just supported out of the box. And you know, for this, what was really cool for this user, you know, to find that's always the challenge when you move to Linux. You got to find the great open source alternatives to the proprietary software you're used to using. And once you find that, then it's like, oh, now I have a system I can use. And yeah, sometimes the software is just different names, but yeah, come over to Linux.
I think more and more what we're seeing is a lot of times the software, because what passes for native build, it's called Electron these days.
True.
A lot of it's cross-platform, even your big heavy stuff. I know in music production, most major DAWs, with the possible exception of Ableton, because whatever, man. But your Bitfig, Reaper, what I use, Adore, that's up, it's working. Video production, you have DaVinci Resolve. Now, I think the biggest with DaVinci Resolve is they would like money for their product. So
yeah.
Which is fine. And I don't have an issue with closed source applications because everything's like, you need to open source. And like, is that Steam you're running in the background there? That's different because that's the arbitrary line that I've drawn in the sand to make my argument. Like, oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Yeah. Good on him. Good for sticking with it. Linux is easy to run. I mean, if you need to get off Mac, you don't want to pay the Mac tax, and you don't want to deal with the nonsense that is Windows, man. Most certainly, every alphabet agency known to humankind has access to. I'm booga fear mongering. I don't know that for a fact, but come on. What if that turned out to be?
I wonder how much a backdoor costs nowadays.
I don't know, man. It's always curious when I see like update push to fix something that's been an issue for 6 years. And I'm like, oh, okay, they finally got something new. But on the topic of music production, I wanted to give this a little plug. We're using it for the show right now. This, as it rolls off the tongue, is the ACM 510 from Applied Computer Music Technologies Limited, a professional DSP software and plugin development. I just saw this. This is a software compressor. It's kind of nice, man. I liked it. You know, it's flexible. It's console grade. So, you know, it's channel compressor, analog warmth, character. That's their plug. And it's cheap. It's 30 pounds. It might have been 34 pounds yesterday when I bought it. Not saying anything. But I like this. It's only available for Linux. You can use this. It comes as an LV2 plugin. Smooth controls. If you look at the interface, it doesn't have like this crazy bizarre moon interface. That makes me happy, man, because a skeuomorphic UI can just die in a fire. I like this. This looks like a standard compressor stack. I know what I'm dealing with. It's got switchable high chain, high pass filters. It works. Rotary controls. You turn them. They do the compress. They do the debiggening and embiggening. It's available, as I said, as a VST2, 64-bit. All the fun stuff is there. You're not into music production, whatever. We're using it. It's working pretty good. It's very light on CPU, which I like. Doesn't add any delays. What got my attention with this? I'm just not bringing this up. Yeah, I don't. It's me. I don't hand out like, here's your free plug. Is I was in the Outdoor forums and I just saw a post. Guys, like, hey man, here's what I'm working on because the commercial version. Now this is commercial. It's not open source. This guy also does the Overtone DSP system, which is cross-platform. And someone wrote back like, hey, I do some music production on Linux, but I also use Windows, and I would like to use this. I would like to use the ACM 510 on Windows, to which he wrote back, he's like, there's no plans for cross-platform at the moment. With Outdoor 6, increasingly solid Linux support now available, and some commercial DAWs. I was talking about, I'm really hoping Linux can finally begin to take its rightful place in pro audio. So, in a way, this is his bet on that happening. Some of professional grade plugins that are going to be released. Linux only. It's like, yay. I like that. Made me happy. Ish. Right. I don't know. I don't know if I'm capable of that feeling, but I think I did.
Apparently you are. You just had a bit of a Freudian slip there.
I think I was capable of like 0.5 happy.
Yeah.
Possibly
Oh,
Pwn7.
you mean like the CPU utilization that NVIDIA claims the new series will only use 0.5?
Sure. Right after they get done enabling the UNCUT for Linux from 2 years ago.
One of these days.
Because NVIDIA, you got to do that. Nobody on the core team at OBS is going to be able to do that for Linux. It's not going to happen. Okay. We got a Microsoft moment.
We do.
Yes,
Microsoft loves Linux.
Yeah, he does. Look at him. Big hugs all around, baby.
They love Linux so much, they're already trying to butt in and change something that's been relatively established. Now you could make the argument that maybe it's a little bit antiquated, and I do think that's very much what Sarah Novotny here is trying to do. She is the representative for Microsoft within the Linux Foundation. And she made some comments. It's like a text-based, email-based patch system that can also be presented in a way that developers who have grown up in the last 5 to 10 years are more familiar with. Meaning, it's like, yeah, that mailing list, it's not cutting it anymore. The kids want Discord. The kids want Slack. The kids want whiz-bang, wishy-whooshy stuff on screen the whole time. I'd be using other words if this was Saturday, but I can't. So, so it seems that Microsoft has very much moved on from the whole embrace thing, since they are effectively running the Linux kernel in Windows 10. You could just have the Linux kernel running in it. And now they've moved on to the extend phase. It's like they're trying to improve on the things that are already there. It's like that you're not going to ingratiate yourself to people if you're going to try and push your way of thinking down their throats.
I love this simply because basically everyone in the kernel development team was like, you know what? Oh, you're angry? You know what? Good. Because this Microsoft like knackered their plain text support in Outlook. They did. It's messed up. It's bad. So watching Microsoft come in and go, the plain text workflow is just too difficult to use now, and it requires using get this
HTML.
They're worried that people would be using another email client outside of Outlook to contribute.
Yeah.
Like everyone is? Yes.
Not Outlook.
Yeah, no, Microsoft wants people using Outlook, which is nothing short of ironic considering how horrible a piece of software that thing is.
I'm sure everyone at LKML and the Linux kernel mailing just had a ginormous hearty laugh at that.
Yeah. Well, there's lots of reasons why the Linux kernel mailing list uses ASCII email.
Yeah, it's keep the newbies out.
Yeah, yeah, that too.
Why would you want to support that, Jill? That's gatekeeping.
Yeah. Well, you even did it here on LGC when we used to have to use IRC to communicate.
That's not an excuse for bad behavior, Jill.
Yeah.
Oh, he did it, so I can do it, right?
Yes.
That's how it goes.
Yes. Well, with the ASCII email, it looks the same. The English American ASCII looks the same on everyone's monitor. Not to mention it's more secure. I mean, security, right? And, it's just, this is how the Linux kernel mailing lists, they've done it. This is the way the developers have been doing it for years. And how hard is it really to use Thunderbird or Squirrel Mail? I mean, come on.
The conspiracy theorist in me right now is just going, wait a second, do you think it's because they want to track people that they're trying to get them away from? No. Never attribute to malice what is adequately explained by stupidity.
I think the takeaway from this is our moral of the story is Microsoft, of all companies, sweethearts. Mm-hmm. You shouldn't be handing out device when it comes to software development. Just
exactly.
Don't.
No.
Nailed it, Ben.
No.
You nailed it.
You can. It's like at court example, it will be Skype. Okay, so yeah, don't tango with me on that. Hey everyone, If you want to tangle with us, like the other 6 days of the week, you can do that. We're community financed and funded by you at home, our beautiful patrons who make this show possible. It's patreon.com/LinuxGamecast. Head over to linuxgamecast.com. Use the search engine because I use it all the time. I had to find something this morning and I'm like, I'm glad I spent time making that thing work correctly. We have like PayPal, we got LibrePay, we got Amazon wishlist, which both of these wonderful Yahoos have like some weird, crazy stuff on. It's kind of brilliant. I'm digging it.
Help me buy a new TV.
Yeah. I have just basic.
I got a 2070 on there. 2070 Super Mini.
Basic things for the studio setup. If you help with that nonsense, which a lot of you have, and it's baffling, but you're up on the board, you read a note, all that fun stuff. Hey, we do give you a couple of perks if you're going to take the time and like kick us $1 a week. That's kind of brilliant, or more than that. The perks increase, but we have like extra live video streams on Saturday when we do the pre super shows, and that's available in podcast format. Head over to Discord. That's where we're hanging out. Check out that announcements tab. Like if you want this show, it's going to be out, at least the video version, as I'm waiting on YouTube to ingest the uncut version. It's going to be out like 2 hours early. So if you want to grab that, that'll be there. And a bunch of other things like show notes. We keep on saying, hey, this story was added by X, Y, Z. That's because we open our show notes up for our patrons. Like, hey, if you want to come scream at us and tango with us in notes, fight for your ideas or tell us we're wrong, that's a thing too. So thank you. Keep being awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yay. We love you.
Maths.
Ooh.
That's a slice of pie I do not want to tango with.
Yeah, not quite a quarter. So this is really awesome. This, we've talked about how cool it would be to have a mini version of an ATX case for the Raspberry Pi, a little mini gaming rig version, and now we have it. This gentleman has made a beautiful little click case, including.
Oh, calm down, Jill. The only reason you like it is because it's got RGBs.
Got excited. Yes, it's got our RGB fans on the front, and it's got a clear side panel, and it even has he even made a little GPU. GPU model for the slot for the PCIe
with a working fan.
With a working fan, and it's beautiful, and the whole time I was reading this article and looking at the video, is it would just be nice if it was a bit bigger to accommodate Pedro's Raspberry Pi 4 Ice Tower cooler that I got him. That would be cool if it supported that just a little bit bigger to support the Ice Tower, and a little wider.
Yeah, no, it just
so
has
cute.
to be like, full pie size, and I have this all mapped out in my head. It's like this would go towards the back, like this side with the micro HDMIs and the Type-C and the headphone jack, and the USBs and the Ethernet would go to the bottom, which would then be routed to the front of the case via some teeny tiny little extensions. And yeah, no, that I have this all mapped out. It could work. It just needs to be scaled up a bit more.
Yeah.
Pedro would do all that. I would take the heat sink and tap it with a torch until it got a bend. Like, there, done.
It's only got the one heat pipe, so yeah it'd be pretty easy to bend.
It would.
Yeah, and of course your high-end games you can stream
A.
with. Oh, there you go.
I think
Maybe
that's
that
neat,
would
man. It's small but functional,
Yes.
and it just looks neat. So, and plus it's got
so awesome.
It doesn't blink.
And it's actually got active cooling. It's got
Yes.
two 40 mil fans
So
in the
cool.
front. It's like, yeah. That's better than most cases out there.
Yeah, and you can stream with it using the Valve Link software under Raspbian, and there's other streaming softwares out there too for it. Because obviously you can't play a lot of the games he was playing natively on the Pi. It's not powerful enough, but you can
Yes.
stream them.
It's definitely one of those things where you set it up and you're like, that's neat. Okay, we're done. But
Yeah.
I want to ask you this. One thing I've personally always wanted from my wheelie bin was to add the ability to, I don't know, attack my neighbors.
This is so, yeah, that was cool.
You can. You
Oh.
absolutely can. See, it should be easy enough to change the little image recognition software that this person made. What's his name? Ahat Cove. And he made a little bit of image recognition software and attached it to the motor and servo that he had on his wheelie bin. Basically, what it does is it checks to see if there's a trash or lorry, a bin lorry, as they call them here, or the trash truck going past his street, and if there is, then the wheelie bin walks itself, or rolls itself, as the case may be, outside to be picked up. And yeah, that's actually kind of genius,
The only
especially if you
downside
don't
I
have
can
a
find to
place.
this, and I went over this entire project very thoroughly, and there was one thing that made me a little sad. And the one critical flaw, I should say, is this thing does not screech exterminate.
Very true, Ben.
Also, it's going to be hilarious when something goes just slightly wrong and it rips off into the oncoming traffic.
Yeah. I like the
Just one second.
install.
I'm watching this, and my first thought when I'm seeing the video is like I would make it avoid the garbage truck and make it back up.
As soon as
there
someone
we go.
gets out to like to pick it up
Actually,
and dump it,
yeah, as soon
it
as the
runs
arm,
away.
yeah, as soon as the arm comes down, it would slide back a little bit. But I'm a horrible human being.
Oh, well, I like the in trash can camera for when it dumps in the, and that's the first time you could see inside a garbage truck. And just watch the trash falling from it. I thought that was brilliant.
That's kind of brilliant. Hey, we're running long. We got to get out of here. If you want to send us some emails, how can they do that, Pedro?
they could do that very, very easily. Well, there are many ways you can send us emails. I'm not going to talk about most of them because, again, it's Wednesday, so we can't talk about it. But if you go to linuxgamecast.com, you hit the contact button, fill out the form, pick LWDW as the show that you'd like to send some.
What if I'm a
feedback
spammer
to?
and I'm manually like 6 times? I went and checked like the spam logs the other day. It was just one dude too. It wasn't a bot. You're not going to bot your way through this. And he kept on trying different variations to get through our spam column. Didn't happen.
Yeah, no, if you're really, really stubborn, by all means, keep trying. It's not like anything that I'll say will change your mind. But if you aren't that stubborn, then maybe you could read the thing at the top. Maybe, just put the one link. It's like, there, the one link, and be
Don't
as
put a
descriptive as you
link.
possibly can. Or no links at all, even better.
You don't need to send us links. We know how to Google.
Okay, yeah, no, give us the Eli 5 on how to Google for your thing. But, yeah.
That's the thing. Leave us a
Spam
comment
column.
on YouTube, anything like that. Or just come screech at us in Discord. We're there. We're live. We're doing that thing. And we'll get back to you on all the places. But we got to get out of here. We do.
Yeah.
We got to roll credits. We got to run. Oh, no.
Yes.
Let's see if this works.
Oh, Steve Husband, so much trash talk for a Wednesday. True that. And Katana, it's trash day at your house. So you heard the sound of it.
Alternately, you could make it scream, "Why was I programmed to feel pain?" I would find that acceptable.
Oh, yeah.
Or just scream, "Father."
Or you can do the
Vidal
father
says
scream.
It's trash day. It's trash day here too.
Thanks to our producers, our executive producers, make this show possible, up to and including the shameless
Yay.
plug segment. Yeah, Nixon's
PowerShell
Pyramid
on
and
Linux.
PowerShell on Linux. Long times. What? Are you hungry?
I was just thinking, it's been a while since Stratos complained about the misalignment.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
It's always there waiting for
Uh-oh.
you, baby.
Uh-oh. Now that Pedro mentioned it.
Are you
So
kidding
true,
me?
Pedro.
Strato got out of bed looking for a target this morning.
Oh yeah. That was fairly obvious.
He wasn't even playing around. He didn't want you to have any illusion different. I was like, I need to argue. That's fine. You could argue. I'm the trash man. Hey.
See, Ben, new penguin sippy cup, but it looks like a chicken. Not
No,
a
it looks like a
penguin.
toddler's cup. That's what it looks like.
It is.
It probably
It
is.
Like my other one. And you open it and you suck the tongue. Oops, like a French kiss.
Pro tip,
Totally.
don't kiss Jill.
No, I bet katana for your kids, huh? And you just kind of pass them down from one kid to the next.
What? Quit making assumptions. Katana could just be a fan. Like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Sippy cups,
Sippy
they
cup.
I
rock.
have a sippy cup collection.
I got one for the gin, I got one for the vodka, one for the whiskey.
And I have this one for the mixer. That's just a regular.
Right. Yay. Yay, that looks good. EFF set bypass is good. I got a little smiley. I like how it gives me a little smiley face when it connects.
No.
It tests my ability to withstand pain.
Alright.
Oh, that was another thing I was going to do. Okay.
You go over
Don't
here.
do that while we're talking. That's how we know we had a clean show. No axe runs.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, very good.
But that also means that I forgot to do something, so I need to SSH into the box.
Okay.
And nano. Project RH. Check net source 85. Ah, right.
Pi-hole is very good. Pi-hole is the best way. Actually, that's what I pulled this one out for, but I don't have an SD card available.
Oh,
Because you keep breaking them, you monster.
the feels.
I keep losing them. I'm sure I have like 7, but I don't know where they are.
I know there's for a fact one behind my hob. So if you want to come get it, go for it. You just got to take it out.
Aw. What I do is for every device I have, I just keep it in the device because, whatever special formatting or distro I've put on there.
Yeah, but it's for the Pi-hole. I didn't want to use the 64 gig one.
Oh, you're a big one. Yeah, I see.
So it's like, yeah, I know I have like a 4 gig and an 8 gig one. It's like, where are they?
Where at? Where at? I have a little SD card holder. It's really cute. Actually, it's the mirror got it
that's
for
gonna
me.
be a Pi-hole very, very soon, so that
Nice.
Nori can play all the games on Android without ads.
Oh, okay, great.
And because free games on Android
Yeah.
nowadays, they're impossible.
They're horrible. Yeah. Oh, that's a really good use for it. I haven't played around with the Pi-hole in a while. I should do that.
I wish pie holes came in a case.
I think you
hole
can buy them
with a hole in
pre-built
it.
off eBay.
No, just so I could say, shut your pie hole.
Yeah.
Oh, with the flippy top. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I was tempted to also put also give the NAS pie hole duties, but it's doing such a good job of not really using a lot of power and just being on all the time. So yeah, I'm afraid to touch it.
Don't be afraid to touch it.
I'm so afraid to touch it, I've put it in a place that I can't physically touch it without moving that shelf over there. Scooching that out of the way. It's like, come here. Which I will have to do eventually when I do decide to up that storage a little bit, because right now it only has the 2 terabyte drives in it. And it can fit another 2 easily. So...
yeah. But it was a Pi Zero, and just go get like one of the other ones out of the drawer.
Yeah, the $5.
$5? Yeah.
What's the best deal you've ever gotten on eBay, Pedro? Jill, you can play too.
Okay.
The RX 570. It was 75 pounds.
Okay.
A recent date, an RX 580 that I got for $80 when it was new. They were new. And I wasn't sure, if it would be
Mine
a good
was used.
card. Yeah. And it was fine. I was worried, because sometimes they say they're new and they've, used them, put them in the machine. But another one of my favorites was I got a $30 ThinkPad from someone. Yeah. And it's, I used it to play Portal on. It was one of the little mini ThinkPads. And the person really didn't know much about it. She was just trying to get rid of stuff. And it came in the mail.
It was full of cocaine, right?
No, it was still on. It was sleeping when it showed up. That's how much this. So I took a chance on it because it was normally I like to order from businesses that I can trust. I don't always order things from individual unless that's the only thing available. So unless it's the only place I can get it from. And she turned out to be a really great seller. And didn't know what
Actually,
it was, and it
that
was worth
reminded
$100. So
I think I might have found a better deal,
Okay.
which was this X240 ThinkPad, 50 pounds.
Okay.
To be fair,
Mine
it
was
had a
the-
BIOS password.
You
Oh,
had
okay,
to
so
take
you
the
had
battery
to-
out. Yeah, I understand.
No, these don't have EEPROMs. You can't make them forget like that.
I can desolder shit.
Actually, the master password worked.
Oh, okay.
I just Googled for the master password. It's like, I wonder, check it out.
That is such a tiny radiator. It's barely bigger than a heater core. Yeah, I'm kind of optimistic, man. I think the best deal I've ever gotten was on this M Audio Profire 2626 that I paid $20 for.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, all right, that's a good deal. It's like 670-pound interface in its day. I got one right now for 99 cents that I think I'm going to end up getting.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
From Echo. It's different, because I'm just buying these things when I got some extra cash laying around, and I just keep a watch list, and this one hasn't moved. No one's bid on it. I don't know if it's misspelt. Maybe I typoed my way into finding it. And I will straight up leave.
That's, yeah.
Yeah, negative feedback if I'm like, wait about it. No one else, but like, give me. No reserve. I'm just going to plug it up, see
Very
if it
nice.
works, make a video and give it to someone so it doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah. My personal phone, the dual SIM one, was also a very good deal. It's the Android One Moto X4,
Oh, yeah. That's a nice phone.
which were retailing at the time for £200, and I got it for 100. brand
Yay.
new, sealed, in box. The only thing it had was the European adapter, like the two circular prongs in the power connector. It's like, is that it? I got adapters. So yeah, no, £100 phone. Very nice.
Awesome. Yeah, I've had some really good deals on my vintage computers collecting from eBay, and then some not so, but the ones I get good deals from make up for it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just too real with myself. I'm not testing vintage interfaces. I'm testing old electronics.
Yeah. Yeah, you're on eBay now every week, just about, Ben, or
No,
every
I'm
few
not.
days. Huh?
I do searches, save searches.
Yeah.
I don't get on eBay. I don't have time to sit and like dig around on eBay. I'm like, nope. Send me.
I have a couple of saved searches.
Well, I do. Yeah. Well, I have a lot of save searches, and then I do buy it now. I very rarely do a bid unless it's something so rare and no one else has it.
I'll do a bit if it starts off really cheap, and I'll put a sensible max, but I get outbid 99% of the time, so... But yeah, no, the Baldur's Gate, Planescape Torment, and Fallout 2 pack, that was a very good price. The Dark Souls 2 Collector's Edition, also a very good price. Yeah, no, that's... eBay is nice.
Nice. Yeah. It's still the best place to find those hard to get things.
Unless you want a cheap Chinese clicky keyboard, then you go to AliExpress.
Express. And sometimes I check both because occasionally, they'll have name brands there. Sometimes they're way overpriced once you include shipping, but sometimes they are cheaper. So.
Looking at you, Sapphire. Looking at you.
Yeah.
A lot of times, you can get stuff like, I know these monitor arms from whatever company that makes them, that I have these two monitors on, like the gas-filled spring.
Yeah, nice ones.
Yeah. Those were like $30 cheaper from their store on eBay.
Yeah, and that's another thing, going from Amazon to eBay and checking which one's cheaper. Yeah, sometimes they're cheaper on Amazon, sometimes eBay. So it's just like I always do that too.
And same thing goes for 10G Tech if you're buying any of their network equipment.
Yeah.
Which I assume in the modern day, sane people don't have to buy network cards, but hey.
Well, motherboards do come with 2.5 gig.
Isn't that a useless number? It's like, oh yeah, sure. I'll just go plug that into my 2.5 gig switch and connect that to my 2.5 gig router. Thanks. That's going to connect to the 2.5 gig port on my 2.5 gig internet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, most ISPs just give you gigabit. That's it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Chasing, like, it boggles me why they don't just make the move over to 10 gig, like, with Ethernet. I understand why, because pushing 10 gig over Cat6 copper for any amount of, pushing 10 gig over any length of copper is a recipe for disaster in the first place. But you're very lucky if you get 10 gig. 10 gig hardware is cheap. The problem is, if
I
you
think
wanna,
he means like connection. Yeah, no, 10 gig internet. No.
the fastest available here, if I paid through the nose for it, would be a 2 gigabit fiber connection. But I mean, you're immediately talking like $2,600 a month.
Yeah.
It's a bit much.
Virgin offers, I think it's 400 megabit fiber here. But yeah, no, go from paying, because my contract is over, so I could ditch it at any time. But as soon as the contract was over, it's like, now you're paying £55 a month. It's like, all right, fine, whatever. But yeah, £55 a month for 200 down, 20 up, reliable. We're good. Yeah, that's okay. Considering my past experiences with internet, that's yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons, like Nova, that I know those feels. That's why I never complain. Like I only have 400 available. But space internet, kids. Space internet.
The satellites are up there.
They keep going up there too.
Yeah. It's been fun to watch the launches. Fun.
I was tracking the one when they launched it, and it went right over England. It's like, no, it's cloudy out there. I can't see it.
Personally, I don't know why you bothered, but yeah. Yeah, it's just like an interesting place because all ISPs have been like, well, people don't need upload bandwidth. And, well, you know, if you'd had that in place before everyone had to work it from home,
yeah.
you wouldn't be screaming right now. 1 terabyte. Oh, and it's me. Are you in Canada? Yeah, okay, yeah, you are. Never mind. I finished reading the sentence. That sounds like some Bell level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pay an arm and a leg for mine, but at least it's symmetric. So
Most fiber connections are symmetric.
yeah, but
Unless you live in the UK or in Portugal or
yeah.
literally anywhere in Europe.
Yeah.
Literally, we're down to about 2 clicks from my house. AT&T. It's like, yo, what do you want? You want gigabit symmetrical? All right. Yeah, what's that gonna be? $65.
Yeah, that's I remember asking when Nori and I moved in together and we were getting our internet connection. I remember asking if I wanted symmetrical, how much would that cost me? It's like, we only offer symmetrical in business plans, and that's an extra 70 euros a month on top of whatever plan you choose. Like, I mean, I can't give it to you in stereo, but I would if I could.
Yeah, I'm paying for the business plan, so I had to.
It's like, oh yeah, you want 100 megabit or 200 megabit symmetrical? Yeah, we can absolutely do that. Mm-hmm. That will be 140 euros a month, please.
I have 300 symmetric, and it's over $200.
I wish mine was that cheap.
Yeah, well, you have cable business.
Don't use it for anything, but I use it twice a week.
Yes. Yeah, Vin, you need my internet. So.
Yeah, but, you know, then I'd have to live in a place that only takes breaks from being on fire for the occasional earthquake. I'm good. Open source ThinkPad battery.
Yeah, the OEM packs are pretty pricey.
Huh.
That's why you buy the Chinese ones.
75 megabit symmetrical is good. AT&T, and if you get access to AT&T, go check out toast.net. It's a little bit more, but you don't get hit with equipment charges and stuff like that. And they have 100, 300 circuits, like respectively, for like 75 and like, I don't know what the gigabit stuff is. Fios, oh man, you got vintage fiber.
Yeah.
Oh, when I moved here, I remember asking Wimpy, it was like, okay, so internet providers, what should I be looking at? It's like, try Zen first. And I call up Zen. And it's like, well, we don't have any information on where you're living, so it would cost you £65 just to send a technician over to test a line, and there's no guarantee that we could even provide you service. Like, I mean, I can't flip you off over the phone, otherwise I would. It's like, really? 65 baht? No, sorry. No.
75.8. Are you rocking that sweet, sweet VDSL too? That's what it sounds like. Eight. Oof. I wouldn't mind 8 if I didn't have to upload anything, if I didn't have to stream anything. I'd be fine with 8.
So Katana, do you have cable? Oh, are you in an apartment? Here in LA, there's hardly ever fiber in apartments. It's almost all cable. But I wasn't sure if you had an apartment or a house. I couldn't remember.
Strip it out with your return video and everything. We're just under like 15 megabits a second. I mean,
Yeah, over here, I'm the one that uploads things. It's the gaming videos on Fridays, Saturdays to send to Ven.
Yeah,
And the
you need
streams
that upload.
on Tuesdays.
pots. Plain old television. So you're probably on a 2-wire connection then. Man, I would install an antenna if I could get an extra 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I first moved here, it's like, okay, don't have a lot of money, and Zen wants £65 just to come and check if the line is even good enough for their needs. So, Sky, what's your cheapest plan? Hey,
Oh.
5 megabit down, 1 megabit up.
Technically on the internet.
I remember Pedro when you were going to the coffee shop.
I had no internet. I was going to the pub just to get internet because it took them a month to even install internet.
I remember that.
And then finally got it. It's like, oh yeah, you can only have like DSL there, and it's 5 down, 1 up. It's like, fine, better than nothing. Unlimited traffic, right? Yeah, cool.
Intel's
Well, at
got
least
a
you
new
had the
logo.
one app.
Eventually they enabled fiber for where I was living. It's like, oh great, can I move over to fiber plan? It's like, yeah, sure, that'll be an extra £10 a month. Just do it. And like a week later,
yeah, there you go.
You think of that?
Yeah, I see Katana, copper to fiber. I'm fortunate. I've got fiber directly into this room. It's literally.
I like how that's smooth.
2 feet away from my
right?
computer. But that's because I got the business package because I didn't want to have coax going from the pole.
Let's see.
No, we don't have a logo anymore. We just have text.
We just got to text. Hey man, the eyes with a dark blue dot.
Oh.
So. Chips are gonna be.
It's
blown
not
up.
there. It's not there. I mean, they're already sabotaging their own branding.
Man, Intel had issues when they had 3 different generations of i7s out. Come on.
Yeah, yes.
I think their issues are not over.
Oh no. It takes a long time to turn around the SS competition.
When did that happen? 2017. How long ago was that? 3 years? Oh.
Well, at Intel time, it's bare minutes. We don't. Yeah, so I will never say, oh, poor Intel. Intel's got cash to burn, man. They can
Intel's not poor.
No.
And after charging $1,700 for their HEDT processors literally
Yeah.
3 years ago, no, they deserve a little bit of, fire under their butts.
Exactly. Hey, Cody the Dragon Rude, how you doing?
Hey, Vin, ... Hi. All right.
Oh, yes.
What?
I do need to go make dinner, so it's a good time.
Yes.
I could
I'm
cook
starving.
podcast. And, yeah, beautiful people. I think that's going to do it for today. Today's Wednesday, so tomorrow, as long as nothing explodes, Jordan and I will be back with Wolfenstein Youngblood as part of the Linux Gamecast LLC Teamwork and Cooperation initiative.
Yes.
Tune in. It usually starts falling apart about 40 minutes in, so it'll be a fun watch. It'll be a fun game. All right.
Yay.
Until then.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Don't forget the cut fruit in the fridge, Joe. Yeah, remember, Steve has real legitimate fears about your ability to feed yourself.